Hey guys, it's me, Smile McGee, and as you can tell, I am still in the hospital and still blocked from doing live videos. First of all, I want to thank you all so much for the love and support and comments and messages. That's an ice cube. Gross. I just really haven't been feeling good, so it's been really hard to respond to everything. I have had a grilled cheese sandwich, a piece of toast, and a couple bites of ice cream, and that is the most food I've had in 3 days. I've just been so sick, and in so much pain, ridiculous amounts of pain. I did not know my lungs could hurt so bad. It's been crazy. I think you guys have all gotten the majority of the updates. So started having really bad pain in my lungs on Friday. I ended up in the ER that night for the pain. They found ground glass, which is kind of like either an inflammatory or infectious response, which I think is going on with my lungs anyway. And my lungs, I've been really struggling the past few months. They loved Florida, but besides that, they just haven't been doing good. So they sent me home on Friday with pain medication, and then, brain fog. Sunday night, the pain just got beyond tolerable. And I've been here since. They discovered I have a really big, gnarly bladder infection, so I've been literally getting Rocephin by the bag. I didn't know that was a thing, because I usually only get Rocephin shots. So that's been crazy. They haven't really been able to figure out what's been going on with my lungs. At first, I thought it was a pneumonia due to my scans, and they thought maybe it was a reaction to the IVIG. But my primary care, I talked with him a lot today, because when he came, I was in so much pain, I just couldn't even think. And I was super frustrated, and he gave me some Toradol, which is an IV anti-inflammatory. And the Toradol just works like a freaking charm. Best pain relief. Well, that with the Norco. Right now, I am doing pretty round-the-clock breathing treatments, Norco 10s, IV tramadol, inhaler when needed, and as you can tell, I'm still pretty wheezy. It's taking a lot to manage the pain and to feel as good as I do now, which isn't fantastic, but drastic improvement over how it's been. So when we figured that out, I talked with him today, and he is thinking a little less that it is a reaction to the IVIG, which is great, because I told him my quality of life off IVIG, I'm sorry, it isn't even worth it. My stomach hurts all the time when I eat. I can't do the things I love. Why fight when your quality of life is so freaking low off of it? It's either constant pneumonias or whatever's going on now, which both are sucky options. But he doesn't think it's that unless the same kind of reaction happens next month. He thinks that it could possibly, I asked him if it could be disease progression, and he said that is a possibility. And he is kind of just chalking this up to really bad pleurisy. Pleurisy is when the lining of your lungs, kind of like the area by your heart, and the outer lining of your lungs swell up, and it hurts. It hurts like a mother trucker. It's horrible. So the goal is to make it so the pain and nausea can't be managed at home, and also keep an eye on this bladder infection, because my body doesn't really have the capability to fight infections. So every time I get an infection, it's kind of not good. And I have been in contact with my pulmonologist, because it's crazy. So my rheumatologist, he went over my scans with a radiologist, because I told him how my lungs have been going downhill. And the radiologist is pretty dang convinced that my lungs show either an inflammatory or infectious process going on in my lungs. And there's one disease that they're looking into that is actually pretty common for people with connective tissue diseases or immune deficiencies. I have both. The treatment for it is a immunotherapy, which is kind of like a low dose chemo, but it can stop progression. And the higher dose of that medication can actually reverse damage in your lungs. And my lungs, they did the CT, which I kind of had to bully my pulmonologist into. And then I got a CT, that was on Thursday. And then on Friday, I got CTs and x-rays in the emergency room up there. And the scan said every single word he told me to look out for. Scarring, ground glass, air trapping. Like, they're all, from my understanding, signs of progressive rheumatological disease in my lungs. He is out of town, sadly, and so is my immunologist for the same amount of time. So I'm wondering if there's like some sort of conference. So I haven't been able to talk with him about this at all. And I messaged my pulmonologist about it, and she's like, oh, this isn't normal scarring. This is the scarring in your lungs you get when you need to exercise. That sounds a little bullcrappy, to be totally honest. Like, how do you get scarring in your lungs from not exercising or needing a CPAP? I mean, if you guys have experienced that, let me know. But I talked to a good friend of mine who, she has the closest body to mine, like disease-wise, that I've come in contact with. She's the best. If you haven't checked out the Tube Fed Wife on Facebook and Instagram, you definitely need to. Chanel is amazing. And she basically told me that that's kind of crap what my doctor said. And she, like, from her understanding, believes what my rheumatologist is saying is like completely right, and I need to start this treatment. And that my life would really improve on it. So I'm just trying to get the best treatment possible because I know nothing about medicine. I'm just kind of guessing as I go along here. So I messaged my cancer specialist yesterday just to make sure there wasn't reoccurrence in my lungs because the pain's just been so bad, and the first place my cancer will go is my lungs. And they said there was no evidence of like metastatic disease in my lungs. And I told him about my situation with a pulmonologist. I kind of put a lot of sugar on it because I don't want to seem like a dingleberry, but I'm seeing if he has recommendations for a pulmonologist who may know more about autoimmune disease. Maybe I'm just kind of out of her realm, you know? I mean, my body's complicated. It's been crazy, guys. It's really hard to get like the care you need sometimes when like people are like my primary care who just like fights and fights and fights trying to find like what to do and how to help me, but like he's not a specialist, you know, and he admits that. He's like, I'm not a specialist. I expect these specialists to like step up their game. And then there's my pulmonologist where I feel like I'm taking a bunch of steps to go in a circle, and it's just crazy. But there has been some really good parts of my day. My favorite part of the day was I have a neighbor. She is 93 from Denmark, and my favorite person. Okay, I always say favorite person, but literally top 5 favorite people in the world. She is on that list. She is just hilarious and amazing, and I haven't been able to see her with this pandemic because she's going through cancer treatments, so her immune system's suppressed. My body's a big bowl of suck, so I'm immune suppressed. So being able to see her and hug her for the first time in months today and just talk with her was amazing. Like, it made my month. She always gives me stories to tell. She is the funniest. I'm actually keeping a list of good things that are happening during this admission, and I will post it eventually because sometimes there isn't a lot of good. And it's been like that. Like, my faith has even been just struggling during this admission because I'm like, God, there has to be a point to this. I'm not seeing the point in this. But I got a blessing and I just need to trust him. And the blessing, it said that doctors will figure stuff out and figure out the right treatments on how to help me. So I'm just trying to hold on to faith to that. My primary care said if we can get this pain manageable, I can maybe go home tomorrow, which would be amazing. I'm just needing so much help pain-wise right now. I don't want to just come home and come back. Like, that's more crushing than staying. So I'm just praying that it's a really, really, really good pain night and I can just go home and take care of it there, because I hate being inpatient more than anything. It is the worst. But yeah, there is my medical update. I am my lips are super gross. Please excuse that. I am super exhausted and I'm really hooked to the show on Netflix called Pet Stars. It's kind of like Dance Moms, but with animals. Check it out. And I'm just, again, grateful for all your love and support, and just the people who've called and stopped by and sent text. It just means a lot, because it's really easy to feel alone in these kind of situations. So just know, even if I haven't responded, I have read every single message, and I'm just super grateful. And like, one of my best friends has been texting me every day.